Welcome back. Moffitt, Pena, Wallace Jr., DiBenedetto, and McDonald, your top 5 in the New Hampshire 125. Closing in on the halfway point of this race, you see Chase Elliott working to the outside of the 59 of Alex Bowman.
Remember, Alex is one of the guys that made pit stops under that first caution flag. He's good to go if this race goes the distance. Trying to get his way back up into the top 10, though, even before these guys have to make a pit stop.
Chase Elliott right in between. Corey Williams in the 88. Alex Bowman in the 59. Elliott's been the one who's run that higher line pretty much all day long, keeping the momentum up. Gets a good run on Corey Williams as they come out of turn 4.
But he was going to be able to make a move on the bottom. Couldn't quite keep the momentum going. There's Scott Booley, the 26 car.
On these shots, these higher cameras, we're starting to see a little precipitation on the lens. We've heard from Derek that there is a little bit of light mist or rain coming down right now. So we've passed the halfway point. Guys like Brett Moffitt are probably saying, okay, it's raining. Let everyone know it's raining out here.
There's a good battle continues for 9th between Brandon McReynolds, Brandon Godovic. I think now, too, the crew chiefs are getting a little bit anxious. They know they're about 30 laps away from having to make a green flag pit stop, and they certainly don't want to do that.
Godovic goes to the outside, trying to get by Brandon McReynolds. Brandon Godovic racing into turn number 3, has the advantage, but the high line. Now McReynolds drops back and loses a spot to Brandon Godovic.
As they come up to lap Brandon's father, Rick Godovic, in a 64 car.
On lap 65 of 125 now, Brandon Godovic in front of Brandon McReynolds.
We've had so few caution laps here. I think these guys would probably start stopping around lap 90 under green if this race continues.
Brett Moffitt out in front, driving for Michael Waltrip Racing. They've won the past 2 championships here in the K&N Pro Series East. As we see the side-by-side battle continue, Corey Williams has to catch that 88, and Chase Elliott in the 9 makes the pass.
Yeah, Chase has done a nice job using that outside groove, using all the momentum he can get from that outside.
Chase Elliott, Corey Williams, and Alex Bowman. Now Bowman looks to the inside of Williams, trying to take that spot away.
Remember, Alex has a little bit fresher tires on, about 30 laps right now, fresher tires than does Corey Williams.
And uses it to take the 12th spot away from Corey Williams. Alex trying to break into the top 10, even after having stopped earlier in this race. There's Corey LaJoie in front of Max Gresham. 6th and 7th on the screen. Gresham trying to get into the top 5 again, chasing after Brett Moffitt, who's had a dominant race car since the drop of the green flag. He was able to get by Darrell Wallace Jr. and has checked out on the rest of the field.
You know, I mentioned earlier that Corey LaJoie had a Ford. That's actually a Dodge, obviously a Dodge. Want to apologize for that. Max Gresham is not going to apologize for taking that spot back from Corey LaJoie.
No, he won't. He takes the position. That's 6 for Max Gresham. Corey LaJoie drops back into the 7th spot. Daniel Suarez in the 16, running 8th.
Well, this group right here has been together the entire race, it seems like. Nice job of Max. Maybe Max's car is coming on right now, or his crew chief said it's time to turn it on. Anyway,
Scott Booley hard into the inside barrier.
That's coming off turn 2.
That brings out our second caution. So Booley getting into the inside barrier here on lap 70, a very hard hit.
Now the big decision is going to be for these crew chiefs. As we watch a replay here, you see him lose control off of turn number 2. Pretty significant contact there, the inside Armco.
Yeah, really. And not only did he damage the race car, you see the damage to the race car, but he damaged that wall as well when he hit it. So that may take a little extra time to work on that also.
Yeah, the officials will go out there and look at that wall to see if it needs any repair. But right now, there are some sprinkles right now, so the crew chief's going to say, oh, we're going to come in now, or we're going to roll the dice and stay out.
Oh, that is the gamble that everyone is thinking right now. Brett Moffitt still out front. Well, yes, that is rain, and that is a puddle that you're seeing. The rain has started to come down here, and so the big question that came out was, does Brett Moffitt come onto pit road to pit for tires and fuel, but right now it looks like he may want to stay on the racetrack.
Yeah, you see our running order right now. I think Mike Gricci decided to stay out on the racetrack, and I think it's, as you mentioned earlier, it's whatever the leader does, everyone else does. Everybody stayed on the racetrack because that was some pretty significant raindrops in that puddle there.
And one of the things we're hearing from NASCAR is we see Scott Booley's car get pulled back into the garage is they're going to have to take a little bit of time to work on that wall that Scott Booley hit. He hit the inside barrier here in the inside of the racetrack and hit it hard enough that they're going to have to replace parts of that wall. It's going to take a little extra time.
Yeah, I think normally if we didn't have weather as a situation here, I think they would red flag this race while they repaired that wall. But I think right now they feel like if they bring the cars off the racetrack, they will lose the racetrack, and then we won't have any shot to finish this thing.
That's one of the big questions right now is, do you come onto pit road once it's open? Derek Pernissiglio.
Well, the 00 crew of Brett Moffitt is really going to gamble this time around. The rain is falling heavier and heavier, and we are in a caution period. But they opted to stay out on the track, hoping that they're going to call the race as it is. But if they go back to green, they've left themselves in a very tough position because they only have 5 more laps of fuel left.
And that's the gamble. You either gamble that it's going to rain and continue to rain and they're going to call the race, or you come onto pit road thinking, all right, this race is going to continue.
I think right now I'm with Mike Gricci. I think it's raining hard enough. We know that they're going to have to do some repairs to the wall. I think I need to stay on the racetrack right here and make this thing stop raining anyway.
So the cars continuing to follow the pace car around the racetrack. We are under our second caution. We'll be back to New Hampshire after this. While we were away, NASCAR determined they would not be able to restart this race, so Brett Moffitt will take the checkered and the yellow flag, ending this one, race number 11 of the 2011 season. 7th career win for Brett Moffitt. He is now in the makeshift victory lane. Let's go there.
Well, Brett Moffitt has 3 second-place finishes here at New Hampshire, but he makes the 4th time the charm. The water starts to fly in a rain-shortened race here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and it's wet outside, but you just got wet in here, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, and it feels great. You know, we brought a car this weekend that we didn't bring the last time, but this thing was a rocket ship, and all the guys at MWR put their effort forward, and, you know, this thing, we didn't get to run the whole race, but, you know, I'm sure we would end up here at the end of the race either way.
The car was so fast and dominant. If the race went the full distance, do you still think you could have won?
Definitely. You know, we guys, the car we brought is phenomenal, and we worked really hard at it in the shop and took what we learned last time we were here and made some improvements on the car, and these guys did great all weekend in practice and in qualifying, and this thing was just phenomenal. Hats off to them.
We're going into Dover next week, the last race of the season. You've got 2 wins there. Do you think that Dover is the place you're going to steal the championship?
I hope so. We definitely made up a lot of ground on it this week. You know, we did what we came here to do, win the race and do the best we can. And Dover is definitely a track I like, and hopefully it'll be good to us next week, too.
Brett Moffitt picks up the win here today at the Magic Mile.
Tell you what an impressive run for Brett Moffitt. He was the dominant car once he was able to get by our pole sitter, Darrell Wallace Jr.
Yeah, and Sergio Pena did a nice job with a 2nd-place finish, and Max Gresham back in 7th.
Take a look at our unofficial results. Ben Kennedy, Robert Johnson finishing just 1 position in front of each other. Clay Campbell coming home in the 24th position. Now let's hear from 2nd place Sergio Pena. He is in the media center with Derek Pernissiglio.
Sergio Pena comes home 2nd, one of only 2 composite cars in the field. How was the race from your seat today?
It was pretty exciting. You know, it started raining there early, and we knew that a rain was coming, so starting 5th, we knew that we had to push our way up to the front really fast. I got to thank Matt Gosling and all the guys at Revolution Racing for working hard. You know, we weren't the quickest car in practice, but they turned it around really good, and we're really happy with 2nd. Got to also thank Freightliner and Subway for coming on this week. That was really cool.
How important is it to get such a good run here at a big track like New Hampshire?
It's really important, not only just for every race, but especially at races when you're here with Cup. You've got all the big teams here watching you. You know that they're not just going to be away. They're going to be watching you. So hopefully we opened up some eyes today and, you know, maybe some possibilities for something in the future.
Well, he won last time out at Greenville-Pickens and now a 2nd place at New Hampshire.
And that 2nd place finish vaults him into the 5th spot as far as the point standings. But more importantly, with 1 race to go, we have a great championship battle.
if Brett Moffitt can go to Dover, lead the most laps and win the race, and Max Gresham would have to finish second to win this championship. What a great point battle.
Brett Moffitt did all he could do here. Led the most laps, won the race, got the most points you could possibly get with just one race to go, and that is Dover, the final hurdle to see if Michael Waltrip Racing can make it 3 championships in a row.
And what a great racetrack, too, to have that championship decided at Dover Downs.
The Monster Mile will be the next obstacle for the K&N Pro Series East. It's the final race of the 2011 season. Here at New Hampshire, some hard hits, one of those being Scott Booley, but the big win went to Brett Moffitt. Grabs his 7th career win in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East. For Phil Parsons, Derek Fernasiglio, I'm Rick Allen saying thanks for joining us.